Finally, a video game adaptation that I'm actually excited about. Hello and welcome to Media Academy Online's weekly entertainment news, the show that gives you, I'm pointing to you, all your entertainment news weekly. Because, you know, all the 2 or 3 different news articles that I give you in this video, that's all that could exist. So that's why you should just listen to what I've got to say, and anything else just doesn't exist. Now, before I start, I need you, if you're watching this, I can see you. I need you to tell me a creative way of introducing this show. Think of a creative way, and we'll give some of them a go. What do you reckon? All right, first bit of information for today. Wow, that was quite excitable. I'm sorry, I'll bring it down. Bring it down a notch. Shouldn't be so excited, but it's just so much information to learn. I'll settle down. Ooh, all right. Quiet Place 2. So if you haven't watched already, I actually did a video. It was one of my first, it was actually my first video I did for this channel, where I discussed A Quiet Place and how it was actually groundbreaking for the way that it tells the story using sound. So if you haven't watched that video, link down below. Trust me, you'd really want to watch it. It's really clever, really creative. We've seen similar things in other films, but this film's kind of brought that concept together about enhancing the storytelling with using sound without dialogue. So if you haven't watched that, go watch it. Link down below. Anyway, Quiet Place 2 is coming out, and apparently, so the previews have been doing really well, and that gives us all high hopes for the release. Fingers crossed that we have a great sequel. I know, I'm funny, aren't I? Great sequels. Come on, mate. Next bit of news, Invisible Man. It's going gangbusters. Well, relative. So this film is a small budget, 9 million buckaroonies. So that, you know, in Hollywood is a small budget. But it's, you know, it's making a lot of money for its budget. And that is a great thing. To see that little films like this still have a place in the marketplace is something that we all should be applauding and supporting. Because you get these big giant $200 million films, you know, that they make, and they make a lot of money and brings people in, and they make over $1 billion, and it's all great and happy. But there's so many more storytellers that could tell their story with that $200 million. If you share that around with 20 people and let 20 filmmakers make, you know, a film that, okay, it might not be as visually, you know, pleasing, or, you know, giant things are happening, but they can still make great films with small budgets. And we're starting to see a lot of this with things like all the streaming services, Netflix. They're really good at giving them a relatively small budget and making something that can stand with all the other bigger films, you know. And we see a lot of them these days with the Academy Awards and other awards shows like that, they're getting recognized, and that's something we should be applauding. For the longest time, we were fighting an uphill battle with, you know, Hollywood, who didn't want to change their business model of old. But then the successes such as Netflix, here we've got Stan in Australia, in America you've got Hulu. These other services have shown that this is what we want, and all they had to do is give us what we wanted in the first place, instead of saying, oh, you're a pirate. Yeah, I'm a pirate stealing your movies. Yarr. That was my best pirate impersonation, so. If you think it's a crap impersonation, you know, down below. That is the worst impersonation I have ever heard of a pirate. Dislike, unsub, delete. What am I talking about? You probably haven't subbed in the first place. So, if you haven't, subscribe. We've only got like 150 subscribers. We're growing, but, you know, not many. So, do that, please. My God, I'm crapping on a lot in this video today. This is going to be a long video just because I can't shut the up. Last and most exciting bit of news. One of my most favorite games of all time is getting turned into a TV show. And when I say my most favourite game, this is The Last of Us. It was a breath of fresh air to see a game format that usually is focused on things like gameplay and doesn't necessarily focus too much on, the narrative, and put narrative on par with the gameplay and let them work together. It was great to see storytelling at this caliber, at this standard, and it really set a standard for storytelling within games. I'm always skeptical when people turn games into movies. Games are designed for gameplay, and there might be a slither of narrative thrown in there, but its main focus is gameplay. And trying to change something that fits a different kind of media and turn that into, a story-driven film, it's always a tricky thing. Not saying it can't be done, but it's always a hard balance to get that right. And that's why a lot of game adaptation movies don't do well, is because they're trying to adapt something that wasn't made for narrative storytelling, such as movies or TV shows, and try and make it fit that structure. However, saying this, The Last of Us, again, as I said, it was equally narrative driven alongside the gameplay. And this is the one reason why I think it'll do very well. And I'm excited because it's not only a TV show, it's a HBO TV show. And in my mind, HBO can't do anything wrong. Well, never say never. But their standard of storytelling is just, so good. And it's going to be made by the same showrunner as Chernobyl. So again, this is going to be great. Here I go again. I'm excited. You should be excited too. If you're not, down below, tell me why you're not excited. Tell me why you're not happy about this film. Let me know why you dislike this idea and why they shouldn't turn it into a TV show. We want to hear from you. So, leave me a comment. Make sure you do me a solid, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Anyway, we'll finish it there, so I'll see you next week.